Hello everybody, this is Frogman. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Genesis. We're currently working through a few of the goofiness that is going on in this quest book, learning about what has happened on Elyria and trying to progress a little bit our way through the pack to try to find some stuff to just kind of maybe figure out how we're supposed to be able to save the people that are currently stuck in the Nexus, which are people, brains, thoughts, whatever this would be. I don't know what you would call this mess, but anyhow, we're starting out in the middle of the base right in front of here. Well, middle of the base, middle of this vault, because of the fact I wanted to show that I did go ahead and plop one of these waystones in the nether so that we can get back and forth quickly, so that means I don't have to mess with that one dimension anymore. That was a good thing to go ahead and go ahead and get done, because it's just one of those. Every single time you fiddle with this little process, it does some goofiness inside the deal. I also did remove a little bit of this up here. I farmed a small, and I mean small amount of this. Hopefully we've got enough stuff to kind of go get things done. We're going to continue this here probably either at the end of this episode or the next episode, is depending. We have a lot of stuff that we've got to work on, and for that matter, there is something in sprouting new life. This one right here, I want to kind of get into this because they're going to give us 4 supremium farmland right off the bat for these, just by crafting those. Biggest problem I think is going to be this one. I'm not 100% certain on the rest of them. Yeah, we need to do some killing of mobs. I think this is the only way we can get the raw earth shards and the raw air shards, and the raw fire shards are going to be thank goodness. But again, we'll have to kind of work on that because of that. That would be really, really, really handy. We can put that in a garden cloche and then grow whatever we want seed wise at a tier 5 rate, which is pretty stinking fast and pretty cool. So today what I want to do, I want to catch up on a couple of little things. We're going to put some stuff away. I've done a small amount of work in between episodes, not a whole lot. Currently messing around in here, and I wanted to in the nether dimension, nether thingy. What I wanted to do is I wanted to go back up top where I had to take care of some problems. Initially, the lava lake that was right here, for whatever reason, on a reload, decided to burn down half of the area, which kind of reset some of the lights and whatnot and a few things, and we had mobs spawning everywhere. What I did is I had to go up in there and throw down a whole bunch of torches to stop, well, the creeper rain. Essentially, that was what was going on, was the creeper rain that was just nonstop creepers. Now, in here, just as here, it states right off the bat in the beginning of the chapter 1. I think it's chapter 1, initial chapter 1, somewhere in here. I forget exactly where it is. Getting started. I think, yeah, you are not safe. There's a power select. This little thing's right here. Everything inside the vault except for the simulation chamber, meaning no matter chunk loaded or not, or verify or whatever, anything like that. This whole area is designed, and there's a reason for that. This area is designed or left off of the area so that if you are playing around in here right there, this square, this little square, and I've measured this square out. That's the reason why that square is the way that that square is because if you come all the way back here, this should be the edge of this line. So these are all the chunks we can keep loaded, and this is the way this works. This area is supposed to allow you to spawn mobs in it. And when they give you those two, well, those two extra, whatever you want to call it, the dimensional things, the things that you load these into, you can build a mob farm in here. And it's probably tall enough to make a pretty decent mob farm in here. So that's why they did what they did. Plus, it's, you're supposed to have to battle mobs when you come in here. I mean, you've got to be able to deal with this. The only reason why they're not spawning in here right now is because of that. So that's why we're getting mobs in that one room in our farming area. But yeah, I wanted to come back in here and show you guys something, because if you haven't been up there, then you should go check that out. Let me see. I need to go about to get off the soul sand. About right there, I think. 1 second. All right, cool. Put that down. Up here is a little bitty building, and up here is also an interesting thing. There's a few things around, just mainly just a bunch of stuff, and, well, 3 skulls. Those skulls are very, 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 very useful for when we decide we want to get into hypothesis. Now, hypothesis is probably going to be something we're going to have to start looking at fairly soon, because I'm not really finding a lot of what I'm interested in at this point in time. And again, we're gated behind good tools. We're actually gated pretty hard behind good tools. We're going to be stuck with this stuff for quite a while. So it might be time for me to start sitting down and actually looking at this, unless there's going to be a quest line somewhere that gives us some tools. But yeah, we're going to be gated pretty hard for a while looks like. So we may have to start actually, I don't even know where any of that is. And again, we're just kind of looking through some of these things. I may have to start fiddling around in this chapter just so we can start making ourselves some better tech, because I'm really tired of slow iron tools. But anyhow, thermal extractions. The reason why I was after that is thermal extractions. Once you look at or meet a piglin, this is open for a few things. Spooky, scary skeletons means that now that I have this, I'm going to get a reasonably decent looking sword, which is fine with me. That's going to give us an advancement, and that's going to give us a sword that's going to be pretty stinking good for just about everything we need, aside from a couple of little things. That life mending, we're going to be trading our hearts for keeping this thing alive. I'm fine with that. I'm actually perfectly okay with that, because we have a ton of hearts because of the fact I have this thing right here. I was actually digging around through some more stuff in here. When we get a little bit more time, we can actually craft a bunch more trinkets. These nameless trinket things, we can craft a lot of them. And there's another one in there that'll give us like 10 extra hearts that I might try to figure out how to craft. But anyhow, we came up here, we got all this done. I should be good to go in here. I don't think there was anything else really good in here other than, there was an awful lot of red bricks and an awful lot of fun stuff and neat little things. Let's get off this hill, and I may have to come back in here once we get a couple of other things going. I'm concerned. I'm trying to save two of the spawners in here, which is going to be that blaze spawner and the magma cream spawner. That mosquito can go for all I care. The problem is they take an awful lot of time to break, and I'm not certain at this point. I'll have to kick a test. I'll find out on my own. You don't need to tell me. It's okay. I'll go in here and figure out whether or not I can break those, because Hypothesis does goofy things with, I think it's Hypothesis. One of the mods that we have should do some goofy things with these that should allow us to pick them up, either with a silk touch or without it. So I'm not really worried about it right now. I will deal with it when I get to that point. I don't need them. And for that matter, we have a mystical agriculture. I can craft blaze rods, I believe, right? Yeah, we should have blaze essence, blaze seeds. Eventually, I'm assuming eventually we're going to have access to a lot of this stuff. If not, I'll have a data model and I can just do the, the deep learner, which is fine. This thing right here, which is just blackstone, which once we find some blackstone, we should be able to go. Like, there's a lot of things that we should be able to start working on, like stone essence. That's just living rock. We can do that. Nether essence is same deal. That's probably very doable aside from the Prudentium at this point, which I think I can get into that one. Yeah, I can get into these aside from that. So diamonds, again, are kind of gating us a little bit in a couple of places. But I wanted to get that because that will give us a decent amount of, where did the other one go? So we got 5% quanta here. I'm not going to do it. I'm just looking at it right now. So we should do this, and then I'm going to do these guys behind it just so that they're there. Cool. And then if I stick something like this in there, we're going to have a large amount of quanta, or a decent amount of quanta, plus a little bit of arcana from this thing. So I could theoretically start doing some stuff in here if I really, really, really wanted to. I'm not going to worry about it right now. We'll deal with it later. Plus, we need the wonderful little blue rock that we have. Little blue rock, we're going to work on once we get we're going to need to do a little bit more with Botania. Again, we're going to kind of be all over the place. So today what I want to do, today we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be doing a few things that we need to do. And what we're going to do today, as far as those go, one thing I am going to say that I really am not enjoying is every time the world unloads, this loses all of its information down here. I think I have something like, 12 extra hearts, I think, currently right now. Which means we go back to having a full red line, and then I have to rebuild them all, which means I have to chew through an awful lot of food to get it back up there. So I'm glad we have some very cheap food. Okay, on to this little section. Click the button, and we'll take the new farms out. I'm waiting on 3x3 mining. Once I get 3x3 mining, we're going to just tear this apart. Either 3x3 mining or a one of these, which is really not that far. I don't think. I think I can actually get to it easier than this. I have to look, because we're going to look at some other things. We're going to start playing with technology today. we need to get onto some technology. We need to start getting some stuff going, especially power, because I really would like to start, automating things like this. This is totally automatable, and a lot of this stuff is all automatable based off of either where is it? Let's check the button in here. I can either automate it via, where is it? Selective breeding. Cropmatron. We can do this and then use a crop harvester with field expansion upgrades to make the whole process a little easier on us as far as this is concerned. Or we can do a plant gatherer, I believe. This guy right here, this plant gatherer, this will do it. However, in order to make the upgrades for that, I think they're upgrades. I always forget what these are. It is industrial foregoing. They're called range add-ons. We need to get into a dissolution chamber, which again is going to be gated behind diamonds. Diamonds, again, we'll look at diamonds. We don't need to worry about this stuff right now. So I have been testing a couple of things, doing a little bit of math and doing a little bit of work. The iron blocks and the copper blocks work. As we can see right here, we're capable of getting some stuff, although they're being a little picky, and I'm not quite certain I'm waiting long enough. Again, this is just me being very impatient, and if I were to use my thing, I could probably see that they're done or they're not done. It says it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Problem is you got to wait for them to kind of continuously do stuff. But you take the dust, you melt that dust down, or I should say you harvest it, you heat it up, you put it in your furnace, you will get an iron ingot or a copper ingot out of that, which is pretty cool. The other thing I did is I went ahead and found some cornflowers. The reason why we need cornflowers is because we don't have lapis. These will give us the dye that we can use to make all kinds of the things that go. This is basically all of the crafting recipes that they have not disabled lapis, or should say this for, as far as crafting various things. This is how you're going to be able to get your stuff. So like blue network cable, which is really interesting because I think we're probably going to try to get into XNet this time around. I like XNet, and we'll see what we can't do about using XNet. What is that? Steel, compressed iron ingots. Oh, that's pneumatic craft. Never mind. But yeah, like a lot of the little things that you're normally looking at doing, like say, just stuff the Omni, really. Ooh, now you're gonna make me. This is the I always forget this exists until somebody tells me it's in the pack, but this is the thing that you can use to craft all of the various wrenches and whatnot into a single wrench, and then all you do is shift and scroll through the stuff. It's like the Akashic Tome for wrenches, pretty much. But anyhow, yeah, we get all this so that we can do those. I have also done a little bit more goofing around over here. The testing from this, and I noticed was discussed, or like I said, thank you again for the comments. I have been testing a little bit here just to see what's going on. I do believe it's the subsoil causing these to do what they're doing. And I don't know why, but they are reverting back to the to netherwort. So what I did is, in order to get a little bit of growth speed off of them, I went back into the farming simulation and gathered a bunch of rooted dirt and put it underneath of it. Now, this is not as great. The rooted dirt is not as great as the soul sand as far as the fertilization is concerned. It's a 1 versus a 3. So it's going to be slower. The thing I'm looking at, and to be honest, I don't even see the need much past this very long. I understand this is a food, and I understand this is supposed to remove the radiation from our system. There's 2 recipes that need this. This recipe, these 2 recipes, and this one, should say 3. So we're going to have to use it to get nature seeds, which, again, I really don't see much of a need so far. Now, granted, I'm not certain whether or not they're hiding things from us in this pack, or maybe they're doing some other stuff, but there's 2 recipes. Well, we already have this one right here, and I can do this one if I want to. We are going to do this recipe just to show that it works, so that you can get a 111 blue wheat seed without having to mess around with it. But I'm not really strapped or capped for lapis right now. We'll worry about it when we need them. This is going to be the problem. This is going to be the hard one, which I think actually I can craft everything here. It's just going to be glowing dust and the dubious dust. So like just showing some of the little things. You can craft most of the trinkets, so you don't have to go out and look for them if you don't want to. And I think it was this one that gave you the extra hearts somewhere in here. Yeah, right there. but I'd have to go kill a couple of gas, 4, but no big deal. But that'll give you 10 extra hearts and then regeneration, which is pretty cool. That might be another one we'll go have to get after just because it's pretty nice to do. And then, of course, ultimate dust will get you what we already have. And lucky, what is this? Totem, I'm dying, but with 30 minutes of cooldown. Ouch. Huh. Anyhow, we'll continue on. So I don't want to get too, like I said, I don't want to get too much into this. I will be doing a lot of this in the background. This is just to the point. I've actually got a thought of what I want to do with this because there's going to be some things we have to play with. And it did it. God, why? 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 Just, it's so bad. We'll worry about this later. Again, the food is going to be some interesting food, some things. This is going to be some interesting stuff. We'll play around with it when we get to that point. What I want to do today is I want to play with technology, and I might end up having to rip some of this out of here just to be able to do that. I don't know exactly just yet, but we have an entire, well, I guess I can go ahead and grab this one because I had to go do that, which will give us this, which will give us a bunch more of those, and a cobble generator upgrade. I'm going to try to do what I need to do, again, to probably avoid as much of the IC2 as possible. Nothing infuriates me more than spending an hour crafting something and then have a 75% chance of picking it back up should I need to. Just ridiculously pain in the butt, stupid, but that's just the way that this whole thing works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start working on the chapter in here where it is electrodynamic theory. We need to be able to start building power. We need to be able to start doing some stuff. And as far as I can tell, unless we want to start digging our way down through mechanism, and I mean deep into mechanism, very, very deep into mechanism, we need a lot of stuff before we can use the stuff that's in mechanism to make a lot of power. We're going to have to work our way around a couple of things, which means we're going to have to do this chapter. To get this going, we're going to need to make all of these little parts. We've already made the electric circuit and plates and copper gears and all of that stuff to allow us to kind of play around. The reason why I'm interested in this is this right here. I don't want to try to do any more goofing around with any more of these barrels or these things or whatever. I want to get this going because this will allow me to do a few things. Interestingly enough, the pack creator has decided to give us a nicer-ish, and I mean ish, way of building those, because normally in order to get a machine frame you need steel, an electrum, and the advanced circuits. Here we're allowed to do it with a personal chest, which is fine, and some cobbled deep slate slabs, which is pretty cool. There are a few recipes in this that are going to require those, either deep slate or something else along those lines. And that's going to immediately give us a tier 4 storage, which will allow us to hold a considerable amount of random junk, which is pretty cool. So if we can get to that point today, I think we'll probably do it. If not, I'm not really concerned. I mean, I don't really see why it's much of a pain in the butt. It's just actually doing this. Sure, we can probably do that. I want to go ahead and get this going. Let's build all the rest of these little parts here so we can get this going, and then we'll go ahead, build that, get it put down so that I can kind of just start throwing things in it, and then we'll start worrying about power. We need seriously to start talking about getting some kind of power going because we really, really, really need to stop screwing around to the point I'm going to go and throw a half a stack of that in here. Hello, glass. Thank you very much. We were using that to make a few of those so that I can clean up some lava in there. So let's do the first thing, which is clean out our inventory and get ready to do some work. Okay, so let's start by doing the copper gear. Copper gear is going to be copper plates and some refined iron ingots. We need to make an engineer's hammer. We're gated quite hard behind certain things in immersive engineering to be able to make those plates a little easier. That plate is a metal press. A metal press here is a heavy engineering block, which again is going to be an awful lot of steel and electrum. Now we can make the electrum, no big deal. Steel, we're gated behind building a coke oven, which again, we're either going to do that at the end of episode today or in the beginning of the next episode, or I might just build it over off camera, whatever, we'll see. But anyhow, I'm going to need that for later. Don't lose that. And that, actually. But yeah, let's go off to doing a little bit of work here. Give me all of those. What do we need? We need to go ahead and make a hammer. All right, new toy, another tool. We get an engineer's hammer so that we can make those. Thank you very much. Cool. So this is going to require a lot of copper, iron or this. That's a banana. Thank you. A bunch of copper and a motor. Motor is going to be copper coils. So yeah, we need a bunch of copper and a bunch of iron. Cool. Let's go see what we can do. So if I remember correctly, this is going to be that. And I think there's an easier way of making this once we get a little bit further, but we'll do this. And then we need a few plates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I need at least 2 gears for that motor, right? And then these do this. And that requires one of those. So we get 2 gears out of that. Cool. And then what is this going to be? That is just a, oh yeah, I didn't need that for that. We need copper coil, insulated copper wire. Where is all of my rubber? I think my rubber is over in the other location. Does this work for that? Okay, it does. 1, 2. And then that, this needs to be copper coil and a motor. How do I get 4 of them? What is this? Insulated copper wire, white, refined iron ingot, stainless. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we want that one. Sometimes the work works and sometimes the work doesn't work. What is all these? More dynamic electricity. Interesting. I'd have to figure out how these work. I have no idea. Oh wow. Oh, okay. I know we have a whole bunch of things we're gonna have to play with. I'm not really worried about it right now. There's a motor. All right. Ding ding. Ding ding. All right. What do we get for all of those? I get 8 more copper wire. I get an iron plate plus some bananas. Copper gears, more copper back, and a melon popsicle, and a thick, dark dragon blood, and explosive arrows. All of which can, well, that can go in here. What is this? Oh, do we have that mod in here too? Oh, it's IC2. Never mind. Hops, wheat. What does it do? Just fills you up and okay, whatever. Eat that one, get it out of the way. That's actually one I probably should have looked at. That one needs snow. I think we could probably make that if we tried hard enough. All right, so there's those. That gets us all this opened up. That gets us to be able to make a wire mill. That's kind of the reason why we were pushing the direction to go that direction, because a wire mill will allow us to make wire a little bit easier, of course. Wire mill, wire mill, wire mill, wire mill. I'm missing one more motor. These go. Get me a wire mill, please. Thank you. Done. All right. Awesome. For right now, we're going to put all this kind of stuff down here. Probably I'm going to have to go get my power generation, or what little bit of power generation we currently have, which is going to be that thing. And you can come with me, I suppose. There should be something else in here. So we do have a motor. We do have some insulated cable. I probably need to gather some of this up. There they are. Come here, you. Don't get lost. Circuit breaker can stay. What did I do with this? I mean, it is what it is. Oh, bring some of that down in case we need it. Gather some stuff. This mod is called Electrodynamics. So the wiring, the weird wiring that we see there, that is going to be their stuff. Okay, that's exactly what I was wondering, what was going on with all of that stuff there. We have motors, we have quarries, we have things, we have all kinds of interesting stuff. I enjoy these kinds of mods that allow me to kind of, automate machine. I kind of enjoy that part of the deal. So this is going to be an interesting time for me because, again, it's one of those you get to play with a couple of things and learn some stuff. And once we hopefully once we get to steel, we can actually start getting a little bit of our automated stuff like, tools and whatnot to be able to do a little bit of work. That's kind of cool, fun, and, well, we just need to keep moving on. Sure. So there you go there. And if I put this behind you, you guys connect. Okay. And if I put fuel in you, have some of this. Just go to town on it. You should fill this up. So if I put one of those in there, what do you do? You... Oh, great. That's nice. But that's a heck of a lot cheaper on the wire. Okay. So that would mean gold wire and all that kind of stuff is functional that way too. Okay, very, very, very cool. All right, next step. So that's a wire mill. That's gonna, oh my, how's it? No, give me that. I need to put some stuff away. Again, for the second, we're gonna go ahead and end the day with some other things. Actually, while you're here, do this. Thank you. Get those out of your life. Ding, ding. Thank you very much. And that is in here. Again, you can end that one by not worrying about that. You can get that, and the barrels that are over there. Do not throw those. I'm going to put a few of these away. We don't need this. That can go in here as well. All those kinds of fun stuff. And then claim that, please. So that chapter will be done. Get ready for big ding ding. No, it's not done. What am I missing? Uranium. Oh. Lovely. Well, we'll deal with all that later. And I don't want you just... I'm going to dump some of this stuff. We need to keep that. Hang on. All right, cool. All right, there goes that. We've got this done. Bootstrapping electric theory. Give me some more wire, a battery box, and a handheld voltage meter. Well, that's very kind of you. So how I move you, then do you do what I think you do, which is going to be something like this. And then, yeah, to turn you around the wrong direction. Might have. There we go. And so that outputs this direction. Is that what you're telling me? Boink. All right, cool. That works for me. I can for sure toss some fuel at that and let it run for a little while. That's okay. Because we'll be able to use this to do other things. Now, granted, we're going to try to get a little bit better here in just a second, if at all possible. Mineral grinder, lots of cool stuff there. Upgrade transformer when it's we'll have to play with some of these things later. Fuel combustion chamber, small fluid tank, reinforced multi-block. Interesting, cool. All right, let's save a little bit more of this for later. We're already kind of probably well over time. I do want to get this built though, so let's go ahead and build that little thing so that we can get this, so that I can start moving all of this stuff over here, because there's one little thing in that that's very, very, very important and very, very, very powerful. We need a personal chest. Wood. Personal chest, go. Thank you very much. And then I should have... What did I do with them? Did I leave them on me? There they are. Deep slate. And redstone makes that. Thank you. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Awesome. And that'll get me one of these. And then my question is, yeah, I'm probably going to have to make a converter for that, aren't I? Oh, good. Good, 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 good. So, this can pretty much replace this. And all of that. Because it's basically a storage that will allow me to do anything I want with all of my stuff, and I will go sort on name, and items are shown either this way or that way. This is generally the way I'll do it. Plus, it has a crafting area that is also capable of being remembering various recipes. So it's pretty much the same thing as this thing is right here, except I can pick it up and take it with me wherever the heck I want to go. So, yeah, big deal, big fun. I will continue to clean up the mess that's around here. Now that I have that, I think I can kind of move forward. So I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. We'll do some more fun stuff, I think, probably either in here or in one of these other lines here in the next episode. But I'll see you later. Bye.